I have a question for my child's teacher. What does her grade represent? I'm not wondering if it means 70 or 80%. Not even if it's an A or a B. I want to know what it means about my child's learning. Does it represent her proficiency in the subject matter? Or does it represent her ability to complete her work and pass it in on time? Could it possibly be that it took her 3 times to master something instead of just 1? Maybe it represents her willingness to participate? How she behaves in class?
If I am being honest, her grade is a mix of all of this. Her proficiency in the content, her behavior, her responsibility, her participation, and the occasional bonus points.
So if my child gets a B, does that mean she could be an A-level student with C-level behavior? Or maybe she's a C-level student with A-level behavior? Maybe somewhere in between? Of course, not every teacher balances all of these measures the same way. That makes it hard to know how she's learning from one teacher to the next. I just wish I could see a clearer picture of what she has actually learned by looking at her grades. Is there no better way?
Introducing standards-based grading, a method of focusing on the learning of essential knowledge and skills. Instead of only reporting assessment scores and having students and parents guess what learning has occurred, the learning is reported by standard. See how this report would have been much more helpful in determining what a student has learned and to pinpoint where the student needs reteaching and a chance to reassess. By contrast, a letter grade or percentage score from an assessment tries to represent too many things and therefore doesn't communicate any of them very well. Instead, a teacher could measure all of these things separately so as not to confuse proficiency in content with other behaviors and skills. They could even measure 21st century competencies.
Educators in Iron County schools are making the shift to create a culture that promotes focus and clarity around learning and growth. Together, we will create common standards and proficiency skills so that the levels of developing, approaching, proficient, and mastery are the same for all teachers.
This approach to standards-based grading has been customized for Iron County schools with lessons learned from other districts who have adopted these practices. Some schools will pilot these standards-based reports in the 2019-2020 school year, while the whole district will begin in the fall of 2020. Look for further communication like this as we move forward with these improvements. This will include what the grade report will look like, how grades will be determined, and how this will impact transcripts. Join us at Iron County School District as we seek to achieve high levels of learning for all students.